What is going on, Headliner Nation? Welcome back to the Draft.com studios. Me and Kyle, we're watching real football. Kyle, there is real football right now.
Football.
I don't know how exciting the football is, but there is real football being played right now. The season kicked off tonight. Bears, Packers had one big play there for the most part from MVS on a long pass by Aaron Rodgers. But outside of that, it's been kind of a snooze fest. A lot of people a little bit disappointed with the whole, my air quotes, of the three-headed monster backfield of Chicago. It's a little early to freak out yet, but there's a lot of things to talk about.
Way too much Jamal Williams.
Way too much Jamal Williams. I mean, am I excited about that? No, but I still think Aaron Jones gets a better opportunity as the season progresses. But there is a few things that we need to kick off with here right off the bat. And you saw it in the thumbnail. There's been some big news today. And after we follow this here for a second, then we're going to get into some live Q&A. We're going to answer as many questions as we can. Not going to keep you for a long time, though. There's a lot of football to watch still, so we want to go watch the rest of the game. Figure we pop on here for a few minutes during halftime. Kyle, let's start it off, though, with Antonio Brown. Has the dude completely lost his mind?
Yes, he has. And he's lost it for a while now. And, all jokes aside, the dude probably really has some things he needs to work through. In terms of a fantasy football relevant question, though, I don't see how he's relevant at all this season unless they do end up basically suspending him, voiding the contract, and then getting rid of him somehow.
Yeah, absolutely. This is going to be a headache. And, I mean, we kind of been talking about it here over recently. First, it was the helmet and all kinds of issues with the bottom of his feet where he decided just to burn all the skin off doing cryotherapy. There's been, one headache after another. Mm-hmm. And I have a feeling it's not going to stop. I mean, this is what it is. At first, we thought it may be the whole Hard Knocks. They're trying to boost their ratings, but no, it's just that Antonio Brown has gone absolutely mad. And does he play it down for the Oakland Raiders? Doesn't sound like he's going to play this week. So if you have him, now you need to bend. What is so funny, Kyle?
Somebody's talking about me not wearing pants, and it's Josh, of course, of all people.
No,
so.
You have pants on. Real quick, though, we also got a donation here. Thank you very much, BMF 7831. Why is Mike Davis getting carries? Well, this is one of those things where they signed Mike Davis here in the offseason, right? They didn't know they were going to have David Montgomery in the draft at the time that they signed Mike Davis. Mike Davis had a solid, decent year for Seattle last year. Is he going to come into this backfield and really be a force? I don't think it will last season long. If you're watching the game, if you're watching the individual running, David Montgomery is clearly the best running back there. Tariq Cohen's still going to have his role in this offense, but David Montgomery is going to end up winning this job outright. It may just take a couple weeks into the season before we see that larger volume.
Yeah, it's only 30 minutes of football, so don't want to overreact right now, like basically all of Twitter is doing. But I mean, that strong run that we saw from David Montgomery in the first half, where he slowed for a second, used his vision to hit what was barely a hole, break a couple of tackles, stay balanced. That's the reason why he's going to take over this job, is because he is a gifted running back in those terms, and Mike Davis and Tariq Cohen just can't do that same thing.
Yeah, he barely hit that hole. I hate when that happens. All right, also want to thank Alpha Jerk BFH for the donation, second-year subscriber. Thank you very much. Now, what about Julio Jones? This is somebody else we need to talk about also. Touched on Antonio Brown. More than likely not going to play this week. You're taking him out of your lineups right now. You're planning on not having Antonio Brown. But then all of a sudden this news came out that Julio Jones may not be playing this week. What do you think about that, Kyle?
So I saw the quote on Twitter from, I don't know if it was a beat reporter or who it was, but basically saying that because of the contract situation, Julio Jones might not play this week, and that was wildly exaggerated when you actually go back and listen to the presser, because he does end up saying at some point in time that the plan is for him to be on the field this week. Now, apparently he's a little banged up, and we do know that he is trying to get a contract extension or a new contract of some kind done himself. But we still got a couple of days. He's going to be in my lineup regardless at this point. Do they play one of the 1 o'clock or one of the later games? They play one of the 1 o'clock games, yeah. Right? Mm-hmm. Okay. So it doesn't matter where you put him in your lineup. But I don't have any issues with it at this point. He's still a top wide receiver option for me this week. I'm fine. Going to roll with it because I think he does play.
Yeah, absolutely. Just have that plan B just in case on your bench. Something follow it up until game time just in case something crazy happens. I mean, it's been one of the craziest off seasons here so far with just like random things happening. But yes, I do believe Julio Jones plays and plays at a very high level despite the difficult matchup. Anthony Kufta, we see you out there appreciating us for answering your questions on YouTube and Twitter. Absolutely. We try to get to as many of them as humanly possible, as you guys can imagine.
Now I get to put a face with an actual Twitter account. So now I know exactly who that is on Twitter.
Perfect. Well, if you guys see, I mean, heck, you can see it in the chat right now. I actually have the chat slowed down because we can't even read anything. And on these videos that are getting thousands of comments, we greatly appreciate that. And there's a whole team of us here that are trying to help you out. I wanted to make sure I put this in this video. It's not just me and Kyle. There's no way me and Kyle can continue to make all these videos and answer all the questions. So there are other people part of this team. You can see Mac and you can see Chris all over the comment section at times. They are part of our team. They have a logo. They are with us. They're trying to help as many people also. Just put that out there. So if you do get a response from them, it is still a part of the Headliners team. Wanted to make sure you guys knew that also. Got one from Mitchell Adams. Thank you very much for the donation also. Hey guys, Winston or Prescott? Feel like I need to see Winston have a good performance first before I start him. I'm going Prescott regardless.
Ooh,
I'm going Prescott. Give me
even as a Prescott lover, I do have Winston higher this week. Winston presents all the upside because I think he has the capability of having the bigger game, especially against the defense that he's going to be playing against. So I'm going to be relying on him. But if you're looking for like a safe play, then I would go Dak because Dak's probably not going to throw the interceptions that Winston might be a little bit more successful to. So I'm still going to go Winston for the upside this week. I think it's a great matchup for him and a great matchup for this offense.
I just think you're afraid of what the people will say if you choose Dak again.
I've been choosing Dak for basically a year and a half. So
yeah, I mean, I like Dak this week with Zeke back, the weapons on the outside, Michael Gallup taking a step forward, going up against a New York Giants team that is not going to scare anybody. Yeah, I think Dak is a safer play. Joshua Knutson, see you, appreciate you. Chubb, Sony, Edelman, Evans, Bob Woods. I like Bob Woods. We never called him Bob Woods before. Kind of threw me off there. Matt Breida, pick 4, full Chubb for the jersey. Well, I don't want to see nobody's full Chubb. I mean, that's as of right now, it's bad enough that I'm showing off my Chubb on the internet. Let's see here. If I had to pick 4 of them, here I go. I'm going Chubb, Evans, Edelman. I really want to say Matt Breida, but I think Sony's probably a little bit safer because I do think Tevin Coleman is involved there. But I'm gonna. I forgot about Bob Woods. Dang it! There's too many good options here.
I think I would take Woods over. I mean, Chubb, Edelman, Evans. We're 100% agreement on, right?
And then I'm going Bob Woods. Bob Woods is my other.
I'm probably going to go Woods as well. And Josh, my man, definitely one of my OG followers over on Twitter. So we appreciate the donation, my man.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's answer a couple other questions here. Dak or Lamar? I think Lamar has a huge week this week. I think Lamar's ceiling's a little bit higher. If you want the safer play, I think it may be Dak, but Lamar has that high ceiling in my opinion.
Lamar Jackson is going to have a fantastic week. I think I have him as my QB3 this week.
Did you just say 3?
Big week incoming. Last year, the Dolphins defense, if no one watched my QB start video that's in here right now, go watch it after this. But you don't have enough time, Jake. It's fine. You're doing many other things. But the Dolphins defense gave up the most rushing yards to running backs last season. And their defense is worse this season. Lamar Jackson is going to run all over these guys, and he's got upside through the air as well. He's in for a huge week this week.
Yeah, I think Lamar's ceiling is absolutely enormous. Fubar Bill Murray in the chat. We see you. We appreciate you. Football is back. Actually, you said Footalls. Yes, Footalls is back also. Would we trade Chris Godwin and Justin Jackson for Miles Sanders and Devin Singletary, full PPR, 5-player keeper league? In my opinion, if you're good at wide receiver, then maybe I think about it. But if Godwin's somebody you're going to be relying upon from the wide receiver position, then I don't.
In redraft, I definitely wouldn't. But since it's a keeper league, it does bring it a little bit closer together. Man, I don't – that's a tough one. But I couldn't trade Godwin right now because his current value is higher than Sanders and Singletary. Now, at the end of the year, that could vastly differ, especially going into next year. But Godwin has a ton of upside right now, and he's probably going to have a really good year this season. I think you could sell him for more later on if you were really trying to upgrade the running back position.
And Kyle, to stick with the theme of the shows this week, I think you personally should say this was a very hard decision to make.
It was extremely hard.
All right, now we're gonna get Kyle blushing on YouTube. Let's see here. What else? Let's answer some questions now. What should you do with Austin Eckler? And this is from Kevin Bruce. In my opinion, depending on the other options you have, I start him this week if it's a PPR league, especially. I do think Justin Jackson is going to be involved in this backfield. However, Austin Eckler is not a bad option this week.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a PPR league, you have to go with Eckler to begin with. But this isn't a guy that I'm going to rely on is even a running back 2 the entire league or entire year, not league. Sorry. So he'd probably be a flex play, but I think Justin Jackson holds the long-term upside or long-term play for this season because I think he's going to be the guy that's less likely to wear down. But we're looking at a 50-50 usage. So in PPR leagues, yeah, I'll still go Eckler this week because he'll probably have a decent amount of workload and see some nice catches through the air and some work on the ground as well to go with that. Justin Jackson won't see that work through the air. So.
Yeah. William Fitzgerald has Will Fuller, Duke Johnson, or Marlon Mack. He can only pick one of them for his flex play in PPR. Fuller, Duke, or Mack?
Most of you know how I feel about Duke, right? Mm-hmm. I'm a huge Duke Johnson fan, but this week I think I'm going to go Mack just a little bit higher. First game of the year, what are we going to get from Jacoby Brissett? We don't 100% know yet. So they might be looking to lean on the run game a little bit more to ease Brissett into that and get him going. So Mack could see a decent amount of work this week.
I think Mack may be the safer option. However, there's only a handful of days a year that Will Fuller is healthy. And usually when Will Fuller is healthy, he does things. We know Kiki QT's banged up. Is Kenny Stills, involved in that play calling a whole lot this first week? Probably not a whole lot. Will Fuller in a potential shootout match, I think that guy has probably the highest ceiling, maybe the biggest boomer bust if you like to gamble. But Mack is, yes, probably the safer option. Tim Odom saying WTF with Aaron Jones. It's the Bears defense. I mean, Don't forget. I mean, this is a very, very tough, it was a boring first half to begin with. The Packers couldn't get a whole lot going on the ground. It's going up against the Bears run defense, who's at times looked ridiculously crazy. Their pass rush we knew was going to be good. Don't read too much into it and don't freak out just yet.
Did we answer the Ingram or Duke Johnson question?
It was Will Fuller and I don't know. They're flying by here, Kyle.
Running back 2, Ingram or Duke Johnson?
Running back Adams. Running back 2 is Duke or Ingram. I think Ingram's a little bit safer going up against that Miami defense, like you said.
I think Ingram's a little bit safer as well.
Yeah.
I love Duke Johnson, but I'm not going to go head over heels week 1 with him right now.
Right. All right. Vic Chan, I see you and we appreciate you also. Hey, Jake and Kyle, do I start Landry or Moncrief to replace Antonio Brown? And what do you think about Waller as a tight end 1 this week? Love Waller.
But Jake, everybody would know that if they bought the draft guide, right? Because I wrote in the draft guide about Waller months ago.
Yeah. We expected maybe a little bit less because we thought Antonio Brown would eat up a lot of targets. But now if Antonio Brown doesn't play, what was that offense in Oakland last year? It was a lot of Jared Cook. Jared Cook no longer there. Who's there? Young athletic tight end. Darren Waller. Love him. Total tight end 1 upside this week. As far as who do you start, Landry or Moncrief? I'm going Landry because I think the Cleveland Browns come out and try to make a statement this week. There's been so much hype. There's been so much talk. There's been so much hate. I think they come out and try to shove it in dry, to put it politely, Kyle. That's the way I'm saying it because,
Lord,
yeah, that's happening. Okay, I've been watching football and enjoying myself. I can say whatever I want to say right now.
So we were on the topic of Waller and Jared Sarrett, if I pronounce that last name incorrectly. Thank you for the donation. Waller and Williams without AB, our thoughts on them. So kind of to continue that, talking about the entire Raiders offense moving forward. We were literally just talking about Josh Jacobs before we came on the air. We were talking about a trade that I had just made, Jacobs for Godwin straight. And we talked about Josh Jacobs, and we said that if AB doesn't play, does it affect Jacobs at all? And it honestly it didn't even register in my head to think about Jacobs right away earlier today when all this happened. But to talk about the wide receivers there, Tyrell Williams does get a little bit of a bump for me. Darren Waller is a tight end 1 for me this year. He has been basically all off season, but it's taken this news for people to say, oh, now he is. But the dude is freakishly athletic. And he's a receiver in a tight end's body. So he's definitely going to be able to do some things. But Hunter Renfrow, another guy that I've talked about all off season long, that I also put in the draft guide about sleepers. This guy could mess around this year and potentially lead the team in targets, to be completely honest with you. Working out of the slot, if Derek Carr just can't connect with Tyrell Williams deep to begin with and needs to check down a little bit more, Hunter Renfrow could be a guy that could have flex play PPR, legit upside every single week here in a couple of weeks once everything starts to mesh with that group.
Yeah, if you're looking for a wide receiver and it's a deeper league, go check the waiver wire right now. Hunter Renfrow is definitely a name to pay attention to. And I have received probably more hate mail, Kyle, for my take on Josh Jacobs, because I'm not a Josh Jacobs truther. I haven't been all offseason, and I get more hate for that than anything. This only hurts Josh Jacobs, in my opinion, because now that big playmaker on the outside that would command so much defensive attention is not there. And you're laughing, and it makes me a little self-conscious at times when you just start laughing at things that I can't see. But I do want to thank Droppin' Nut for the donation.
Oh yeah, Joe Cotting said Renfrow in his dad body.
Yeah, he's totally got a dad. Dude looks 36. Okay, dude has more of a receding hairline than I do. I get that. Okay,
Somebody posted a picture of Renfrow and DK Metcalf next to each other. Holy crap! You could fit like 15 of Hunter Renfrow's body inside of DK Metcalf.
Yeah, he's just a little guy. I mean, he looks like Benjamin Button. Anybody who saw that movie, I mean, he doesn't look professional football-ish, but he's got great hands and he could rack up the receptions. Kind of reminds me of a little bit of your old crush, Trey Quinn.
Trey Quinn. He's not my former crush. I'm still crushing him.
I'm just saying. He's that same type of mold. It's like if you were to take Julian Edelman and make a diet version of Julian Edelman, that is Hunter Renfrow. He's also got to be older looking too. But
from here on out,
old looking,
when we talk about Hunter Renfrow, it's hashtag diet Julian Edelman.
Diet Edelman. It's just like it's a not good soft drink.
All right, so I got a question here from Connor Russell that popped up. I think it's an interesting one. Jones, or I'm going to assume he means Marvin Jones Jr., D.D. Westbrook, Rashad Penny, or Gallup for flex PPR leagues. I'm going to go with D.D. Westbrook. No? Okay. Now, I did hear that Foles may or may not play this week. There's a little bit of back and forth. I haven't heard whether or not he is.
Regardless, I'm personally going Marvin Jones for the simple fact that Arizona does not have their starting defensive backs. Patrick Peterson, Robert Alford, both out this week. Neither one of them are going to be playing. They got like Bob from Section 526 who drinks 4 beers a game to play defensive back for the Cardinals this week. There's not going to be a whole lot of issues with Matthew Stafford throwing the football, I don't think, this week. I think the Cardinals' run defense may be a little bit better than their passing defense. I'm going Marvin Jones, going all in on Marvin Jones this year. Or this week.
Bryce Cooker says Tyler Boyd or Chris Godwin. Chris Godwin for me 100% this week.
Yep, 110%. Willie Chaney, appreciate you. Duke Johnson versus the Saints. High-scoring game according to Vegas, or Sony Michel versus the Steelers. It's a PPR 2QB 8-man league. Never Funchess. Huh?
Oh, sorry. I cut you off the Never Funchess.
I was hashtagging Never Funchess as long as I could. That's how he typed it, so that's how I would read it. I
thought you were saying, like you were thinking.
Yeah, no, I'm going Duke Johnson there, especially in the PPR league, high-scoring game. Absolutely. Give me the Duke.
100%. Fuller or Marvin Jones in PPR?
That one, I mean, they're so close this week for me. That's a boom or bust. It's hard to not start Will Fuller when he's healthy, because this may be the only week he's healthy. Heck, he may only make it a quarter, though. So you never know with Will Fuller. I think Marvin Jones may be slightly safer. Will Fuller, the higher ceiling if you want to gamble, in my opinion.
What about Duke Johnson or Calvin Ridley?
That's tough. I think I'm going to lean Calvin Ridley. He shouldn't draw Xavier Rhodes against the Vikings. I think that Julio Jones, as long as Julio Jones plays, takes away some of that defensive attention. Devontae Freeman in the backfield. I think Ridley has a decent upside this week.
Gavin wants to know, what do you think of Vance McDonald in PPR? We love ourselves some Vance McDonald this year.
That's right. Who would Jesus draft? He would draft Vance McDonald. There's only 2 likes. Somebody said there's only 2 likes on this video. That can't be right.
Oh, there's 62.
Oh, well, that's still ridiculous. Hit the like button. I
We're
mean,
good.
we're not watching football. Hit the like button for us at least. Let's see. Tevin Coleman, James White, or Duke Johnson. Full PPR, John Seidler. Coleman,
That's still going to be
White,
Duke for
or
me, I think.
Duke. I think Duke has the slight edge there with James White in a full PPR second. A lot of people are freaking out about Matt Breida being listed as the number one in San Francisco. I'm really not freaking out too much because that offense is going to utilize both those guys in so many different ways. I'm not concerned about it at all.
Question from Jade says, first year playing fantasy football. So welcome to the wonderful, exhilarating, anxiety-ridden world of fantasy football.
Yeah.
Seattle or Denver defense? And the guy that I play has Bears defense going today. I think it's Seattle against that Cincinnati team that is missing 2 offensive linemen, that is also having issues, missing their top wide receiver.
Yeah, I think that's a solid option, especially with the addition of Jadeveon Clowney. Yeah, I mean, that's probably a great play right there. I'll have to agree. BMF 7831, see you, appreciate you. Robbie Anderson, Tyrell Williams, or Dante Pettis in a 1-point PPR. That one is a little close because none of those guys are really PPR style receivers. They're kind of big play dependent. Dante Pettis has a lot of people to contend with on his team with Deebo Samuel, George Kittle. I know Jalen Hurd's not playing, but they got 54 running backs to contend with. Robbie Anderson has looked good at times, but it may not be 100% healthy. Tyrell Williams, if Antonio Brown does sit, may not be a bad choice. He could see a ton of targets here in week 1.
Naive Ninja wants to know Jameis Winston or Drew Brees. Jameis Winston still for me this week. Yes.
I like the upside of Jameis. I think the ceiling is higher. Drew Brees, though, coming out week 1 with time to game plan and a possible shootout against the Texans, I don't hate either one of them, to be completely honest. I think that Drew Brees is still a safe play, regardless of which way that you go.
Zach Evans says, do you see McCoy taking over the Chiefs' backfield?
Nope.
Not
fully. No. He'll have a share, but it won't be his job fully.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, this is going to be basically 3 guys the entire year splitting a bunch of work.
Yeah, if you like the 3-headed monster of Chicago, get used to it because what's going to happen in Kansas City unless there's injuries. Kyle's over there breaking things and throwing mouses and all. I mean, I'm hearing all kinds of things cracking.
I may or may not have squashed the fly with my mouse.
Wow. Hopefully Pete is not watching. Okay, let's see. What else do we got? Hooper or Waller for tight end? I'm going Waller for Miguel Blanco.
Yep, Waller as well. Tyrell Williams or Latavius? I'm assuming Murray in standard.
That's the only Latavius I know. Do you know any other Lataviuses?
I'm not sure.
I can guarantee you probably don't. Not for fantasy football, you probably don't.
Tyrell Williams for me.
Yes, absolutely. I agree. Yeah, I think Latavius Murray sees volume, but unless you're in like a 14-team league or larger, I don't know if I'd want to start him week 1 until we actually see what his role is.
Wayne says OJ Howard or Emmanuel Sanders, PPR week 1. Typically, I don't start tight ends in my flex. I'll make an exception with this one.
You don't flex your tight end often, Kyle?
I squeeze it really tight, and I let it loose. Lots of those in a day makes for a nice buttocks. Anyway, OJ Howard or Emmanuel Sanders.
Hang on, let me check how many people just left the live stream from that. Oh, yeah, we dropped to 4 people.
For you.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Coleman or Damian Williams in standard leagues? I'm going to stick with Damian Williams. I still think that the lion's share of the workload this week is Damian Williams.
Yeah.
You don't sound so sure.
I don't like that.
No.
I don't like that decision at all. Not your decision. I don't like that question.
Well, I mean, give the guy a break. I mean, he asked us a question. It's not his fault.
No, not that I do. Not against him.
I can't believe you're talking bad. I got your back out there. Don't you worry.
Whatever.
Why is David Montgomery sucking? Forgotten Ninja. He's not sucking. The play calling is sucking. It's not him. If you've watched a few of the runs, and I've seen this as we were scrolling by, a lot of people are talking about, what's going on with David Montgomery. Well, he's not looking very good. Oh man, I'm pissed about Montgomery. If you take each individual run and really break down, his vision out of the backfield, his ability to break a tackle, his elusiveness, it's there. It's really there. If he gets more opportunity, more touches, which he will throughout the season, David Montgomery is going to be okay. We have not been one of those channels, though, that have been preaching him as a running back 1 all year. It just hasn't been that. We've been in that mid to low running back 2 area for him all offseason, and that isn't changing yet. I mean, heck, it's only week 1. I'm not going to say that he was not somebody we were looking forward to seeing. He just wasn't as high on our list as a lot of some of the other channels and shows.
What about Jacobs or Galladay this week?
Galladay. I would rather have herpes than Josh Jacobs. Next. Keep them coming, Kyle.
You can't.
I'm waiting, Kyle. Hit me with another question. If we sit here in awkward silence, people are just going to think it was really weird. Keep going.
Eric Casper wants to know, drop Justice Hill for David Waller.
I don't know who David Waller is. I'd rather have Darren Waller.
Darren Waller. My bad. We've been talking about David Montgomery. Darren Waller.
I really like the upside of Justice Hill, and I know you do too. But there's very few tight ends in fantasy football that have that upside. Depending who your current tight end is, if you have like Kyle Rudolph right now as your tight end, who I don't hate, but if that's your current tight end, then I'd rather have Waller.
I'd rather drop Kyle Rudolph for Darren Waller than drop Justice Hill for Darren Waller.
That's what I was trying to get at. It really depends. Maybe hopefully there's somebody else you could get rid of.
Summon Ninja, Goff or Ryan this week?
Man, I like both of them. I think Jared Goff may be a little bit safer.
I agree with
in
that.
my opinion this week.
Yep. Sports Ranker says Lamar or Wilson. We already know that question.
Lamar
for me.
Yep, Lamar has that higher upside. Balls to the Waller, need upside. I see you out there. Balls to the Waller. I like it. Make it a hashtag.
Why so much Jamal Williams today from Kobe? I don't know. That's a good question. Any amount of carries that Jamal Williams get is too many carries.
Yeah. And are we entirely surprised? No. I mean, with LaFleur coming over, we knew what we kind of saw in Tennessee last year with Dion Lewis and Derrick Henry. But I do think that Aaron Jones, benefits here in the long run. Don't forget, it's the first week of the season. It's the first game of the season. It's a Thursday night game going up against a Bears defense. I still think Aaron Jones is the elite option there.
I saw this question come across a few times now, so I want to get to it. Prex Tho asks, Albert Wilson or James Washington?
I mean,
I feel like I have to go Albert Wilson this week. He's the number one receiver.
He's the only receiver.
He's the only receiver. They're going to be playing from behind a lot. I definitely think it has to be Albert Wilson. James Washington could end up having the much bigger week. I mean, really, the guy only needs one huge touchdown to really solidify himself as a good play that week. But we still don't know. Is it going to be Moncrief? Is it going to be James Washington? James Washington looked good in the preseason. Moncrief still seemed to be the guy, though, according to reports. I just think Albert Wilson has less to fight through, and the game script will definitely favor him seeing a hefty amount of targets.
Yeah, absolutely. Joe Brist, don't want to miss this when we see you. We appreciate you. PPR wide receiver, Emmanuel Sanders, Calvin Ridley, Mohamed Sanu, Tyler Boyd. I said I didn't really like Tyler Boyd this week, and a lot of people did not like that take. I just see Andy Dalton under all kinds of pressure, kind of like we talked about a little bit ago. Personally, I'm going to stick with Calvin Ridley here. I think as long as Julio Jones plays, Calvin Ridley, I think, has a decent day against Minnesota. Minnesota should be able to score against the Falcons, and I think Ridley's a big part of the game plan.
Yep.
What else we got, Kyle?
PPR, Jarvis or Will Fuller? I think we answered that one.
Yeah, I'm going Jarvis.
Evan Hutt wants to know, Jarvis Landry, Mike Williams, or Marvin Jones, half PPR? Still Landry for me.
Yeah, I think Landry's still safer. A lot of people hate on Landry, and my take on Landry has been the same all offseason. He's always been the number one in the NFL on whatever team he's been on, Miami or in Cleveland. He's always been the number one receiving option. Now he's not. He's the number two, and he could absolutely thrive off one-on-one coverage. I love Jarvis Landry this year.
Gerard Barron says, love the show, fellas. Appreciate it. And bought the draft guide. Love the support, my man. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you.
He owns Waller in all of his leagues. Smart man.
You went totally balls to the Waller.
Flex Waller or Tevin Coleman in full PPR?
I don't know if I could flex my tight end there.
Yeah, again, I don't love flexing tight ends most days. But Tevin Coleman for me still.
Yeah, exactly. Trevor Martin, see you, appreciate you. Trade Gordon or hold and hope he plays. I shop him like crazy. The problem is I don't think you're going to get a whole lot for him.
Wait, who? You said Gordon?
Yeah, Melvin Gordon. I'm guessing he's talking about. I don't think you're going to get a whole lot. So at this point, if you drafted him, A, you didn't listen to us. B, I think you kind of have to hold on because I mean you can shop him out there and see what the offers that you receive are. I just don't think you're going to get a whole lot, and you don't want to just give it away for like a wet paper bag, a half a pack of now and laters, and a piece of duct tape. You know what I mean? He's worth a little bit more at some point. Heck, you never know. Maybe he gets traded to Tampa Bay, and Can we start a rumor, Kyle? Do we have that ability? Can we start rumors?
I don't know if we want to.
I mean, are we at that level yet where we can start rumors?
I mean, I did have a source help me out with the Kareem Hunt situation.
This is just a rumor in my head.
So
this has no legitimacy. But I would not be surprised to see Melvin Gordon in Indianapolis. I said it in one of our chats a couple days ago as that's a dark horse for me that I wouldn't be surprised if they got him. Personally.
Okay, so someone in the chat, it's probably Joker, JOAK3R. He needs a question answered really bad, but really I don't see what his question is.
And who's Pineapple Man?
I don't know.
Let's see. The Bucks is the best place for him. Absolutely, 100%. Love my boys. It is. I mean, say no to Rojo forever. That backfield is horrible. I just don't know if they pay up for a Melvin Gordon with such a horrible offensive line. Dalton saying stop. He's a Colts fan. He doesn't want that. Well, if you get him, at least you know he's going to play and not sit for you. And your offensive line is amazing in Indianapolis.
Here it is. Joker wants to know Chris Godwin or James White, PPR flex. Still Godwin for me.
100% Godwin. Going Godwin with both double Godwins.
Nathan Rogers, Joe Mixon or Chris Carson? Did I say Carton?
Yeah.
Carson?
I've totally forgot. Who was the other name? Chris Carson or who?
Joe Mixon.
Oh, no. I'm going Chris Carson.
T.Y. Hilton, Breida or Curtis Samuel. I think I still have Hilton a little higher than Samuel this week, but that's an interesting one for me.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to be bold, if you want to show up to your week one matchup with some big, then you go Curtis Samuel. I think Curtis Samuel could have a huge day. Going him over T.Y. Hilton is a little ballsy, but it's not. Sometimes you got to be ballsy to win.
Mike John wants to know if I should draft or drop Aaron Jones. No. Don't do that. No one overreact now, okay?
Vic Chan, see you out there and I appreciate you again. Drop Trey Burton for Darren Waller. Yes, 100%. I don't even want to tell you to shut off the live stream, but I'm gonna do this just because I appreciate you, Vic. Close the live stream for a second. Go open up your fantasy app, make the waiver claim, pick up Darren Waller, hit submit, and then come back to the live stream like right now.
Okay, here's the thing though. If he, was doing this right, he'd have the live stream open on his computer, and then he could use his phone.
I guess it is 2019. People do have mobile devices that can do such things.
Or his tap. My chair just broke.
And down goes Kyle. Now I look like I'm having a live stream with a 13-year-old. You can't even see over the.
Looks like the face of a 13-year-old.
No. We'll still start Julio. We're seeing a lot of people asking about Julio again. We mentioned it at the beginning of the show, but yes, it sounds like Julio Jones is going to play. There's a lot of reports out there that were kind of taken out of context. Just make sure that you have a second option just in case, because it may be one of those things. An hour before game time, maybe something changes. Make sure you're staying on top of that. What about dropping? Here's a good one. Santiago Mazza. I dropped Aaron. I don't know if he said he's already done it or he wants to know if he should drop Mark Andrews for Darren Waller.
No. I actually have Andrews like 1 or 2 spots ahead of Darren Waller overall for this season. So I would stick with Andrews still right now.
Andrews still has some huge upside. He's kind of got that George Kittle breakout potential here in 2019. Alfredo Olvera.
Pizza or chicken?
Huh?
Pizza or chicken?
That's the question I was just reading. We must be hungry. It depends on the type of chicken.
Wait, what side are you on?
I'm over. Oh, you're over here. Ready? Okay. It depends on the type of chicken. I live in the South, so it's got to be fried. If it's fried chicken, put some buffalo sauce on it, have some wings, I'm all good. But I like both if both is an option.
What about chicken on pizza?
Nope, can't do that. You're not allowed to put chicken on pizza because that's just weird.
What are you talking about?
Don't even start.
Like a barbecue chicken pizza?
Nope.
What is wrong with you?
I'm normal.
people in the chat. Okay, thumbs up if you're good with chicken on pizza. Thumbs down if you don't like it, and then you can agree with Jake. And then I just don't trust you anymore.
Thank you for totally undercutting my opinion. Salty Reefer, appreciate you. Need 2, Derrick Henry, Leonard Fournette, Jarvis Landry in a PPR. Okay, well, first of all, Landry's going to be one option for me. Is Derrick Henry 100% healthy? Kyle, are you going to pay attention to me?
Is Derrick? I heard you. Derrick Henry 100% healthy. He's still good to go right now.
I mean, it says he is, but do we trust it?
Yes.
You trust
it. Right now I do.
So you'd start Henry and Fournette?
This week, yes.
In a full PPR? And sit Landry?
Yep.
I can't 100%. Do it. All right. Kyle 100% says Henry Fournette. I'm going Landry Fournette personally.
Somebody in the chat asked wings or hamburgers. I don't know who this person is, though. I do believe that she made a comment about not being able to trust me this week, though.
Wings or hamburgers?
Yes.
Can we have... can we get an appetizer of wings and a hamburger for our entree?
I don't know. You can go downstairs and ask her, though.
Oh, okay. Is that who asked it? I wouldn't even notice it.
Look at this. So many thumbs up. 1, 2... There's a couple of thumbs down. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The people agree with me when it comes to the chicken.
No, there's like 9 people that agree with you. Okay, not all the people. See, there's more thumbs down. I appreciate you, Nizzo83. How about this one? The Bills or the Jets defense? Which one do you choose?
Going with the Bills.
Going with the Bills. I think the Bills defense is severely underrated this year. Jake or Kyle, sumo style. Oh, look at the name. The name is Never Funchess.
Did someone create a
Somebody created a name Never Funchess, and they want to know Jake or Kyle, sumo style. Have you seen me? I would absolutely annihilate Kyle in a sumo wrestling contest.
See, last year before the combine, we even said if we got a certain amount of likes or subscribers or something like that, that we would run Oklahoma drills at the combine.
Yep, we didn't get it.
I'm not going to lie. Even though we spent basically an entire season doing a show together, I did not expect you to be the large human being that you are when you got out of the car.
We can get a lot of people talking fantasy football and they may be 130 pounds soaking wet. I mean, what do they know about football? I am the size of an offensive lineman, and I will ruin people's days, Kyle. I'm just saying.
Here's the thing. I'm a bigger guy myself. There's not too many people that I look at, and I'm like, oh, I got to look up to you a little bit. You were one of them.
Yeah. I will offensive line pancake your backside. Odds Mahomes flops this season from Zach Evans. I don't see a flop. I see a regression, but I don't see a flop.
Small regression. Still QB1.
White Rhino wants to see us run the 40. You want to know what's good about that, Kyle? Is because I am so large, once I get going, there is no stopping. There are no breaks over here, Kyle. So if I can get going, momentum is on my side.
Here's the thing, though. As long as you run it, your arms aren't flailing all over the place and going crazy.
Yeah, I don't run like that. I know people that do, but I don't. Mike Williams or Matt Breida? I'm going Mike Williams all day long. I love Mike Williams this year, and I know that's not a popular opinion, but I'm going Mike Williams over Breida this week. Yep.
I don't know if I can go Mike Williams this week.
Willie wants to know how tall I am. I'm 7'1". You never know.
7'1", like 220, just lean.
No. Joe Briss, see you, appreciate you. Different league, PPR. Wide receiver, Godwin, Thielen, Woods. By the way, thanks for last year. Won your Super Bowl. Awesome. Glad we had a small part in that, but that was your victory. Thank you for coming back. Joe Briss, so we got Godwin, Thielen, Woods. I don't know how many you need, so I'm just going to put them in order of ranking them this week, and I'm going to go Thielen, Woods, Godwin.
So Godwin is my upside play. If you're like going to be playing in a matchup where you could be playing from behind or you need to make up some points, I'm going with Godwin. He has the ceiling. Thielen's going to be the floor for me this week. So if you just want a safer play, if you want some points, then I would go with Thielen.
Yep. I'm sorry if I butcher this. To Helium Malo, if Jones sits, which I don't think he will, Godwin or Fitzgerald for his start, and then Renflo. See, I'm thinking about letting it flow. Renfro in the flex.
I would
Personally,
go Godwin and Fitzgerald this week,
Yep.
and I like Renfro, but we have to wait on it. We have to be careful with it.
Yep, I agree. I don't start Renfro, and I put Godwin in for Julio and the opposite Fitzgerald in at the flex.
JC says Allison or MVS. We've said it all year long. Well, I have.
You have.
Did you say Allison?
I like Allison.
Okay, I'm an MVS truther, so
I like Allison for the season overall. I mean, I don't dislike MVS at all. I just think if Allison can stay in the slot and kind of get some of that gravy at times, then I like Allison. I think he's safer. What are you shaking your head at? You look like my dog, who has like issues mentally. It just like constantly shakes its head. It's like this.
Did you just compare me to your dog that has a head injury?
Well, yeah, basically.
Man.
What about Dak or Cam? I'm going Dak. Yep.
Cam.
Okay.
Cam this week.
Well, we don't agree. Do we agree on anything? No, probably not.
That's okay.
Why you guys not watching the game or got it pulled up somewhere? First of all, I can't tell you what I got pulled up somewhere regardless. That's just awkward. We're watching the games on our, well, I can't speak for Kyle. It's on our phones for the most part, but I'm not really paying attention because we're just having fun with you guys. I'm have to watch the chat. If I start watching the game and don't answer any questions, you guys will light me up in the comment section. Kerryon Johnson or Josh Jacobs? I'm going Kerryon Johnson. What do you say, Kyle? You agree?
Kerryon Johnson.
Here's a good question. Sumo Ninja 02 live on Sunday before the games. Thank you for bringing that up. Sunday is not a for sure thing. However, Saturday evenings are going to be the live show. Sunday mornings, we're going to try to. We can't guarantee a live stream every Sunday morning, but we can do one every Saturday evening. We want to make sure that we give people time before kickoff to watch the videos back if they want to. So Saturday evening, we'll be doing live streams every single week, doing just live Q&As like this. Thank you for asking that question. How do you give advice but not watch the game? Atom. Really? Yeah, we don't watch football. We just sit up here and talk about it forever. We have no idea what's going on.
How many games are left this season?
Yeah, chill out. I'm sure you're probably the person that hit the thumbs down button. Let's see here. Carson or Connor in standard? Still going with Connor there. Do you agree, Kyle?
Yes, I do.
Perfect.
Sorry, I'm reading through the chat still, too.
Yeah, see, Kyle's over there watching the game, and people are going to get pissed that we're not watching the game. Watkins or D-Jax? Personally, I think I like Deshaun. I like both of them, but I like Deshaun Jackson a little bit more. A home opener in Philadelphia against a former team. I think they come out and try to get D-Jax involved.
I agree with that. However, I mean, Tyreek Hill is going to be shadowed by Jalen Ramsey this week, which could give, Watkins the opportunity to, he could get released one time and, go for a big score. So,
yeah, exactly. And we're missing a whole lot in the game, as everybody can tell, with a score of 7-3. Not a freaking thing has happened, so don't worry about it. QB sneak on 4th and 10. That's how you roll these days. This is new school NFL. It just doesn't work. Let's see here. Who would win in a fight, Jake or Kyle?
Why does it have to be Jake versus Kyle and everything?
If it's a verbal fight, Kyle will beat me all the time because I'm not what you would call educated as much as Kyle. Kyle is way smarter than I am. Physically, I'm more imposing. But no, we would never fight. Absolutely. Me and Kyle are BFFs. This is like what we do on the side from our normal jobs, which we still have. Our other full-time jobs, families, kids, and YouTube. We're busy guys. The Chicago offensive play calling is trash. Shake my head, Kyle. It is so far, but we kind of saw last year at times the Bears offense would struggle or stumble. Matt Nagy, I trust in the overall for the season. I'm not going to read too much into, 3 quarters of football here in week 1, first game of the season.
Never Funches has asked if Mark Ingram is going to do well about 457 times now.
Yes.
Safe running back too.
Yes. Running back too. Absolutely. Kenny Galladay or Tyler Lockett in non-PPR? Both.
Wait, who was it again?
Kenny Galladay or Tyler Lockett in standard leagues? I like both.
I'll go Lockett this week.
I don't mind Lockett at all. DK Metcalf's going to play, but I still like Lockett also. Let's see. Dak or Jimmy G for Chris Powell?
It's Dak for me.
It is Dak. I've been saying Dak a lot, and I'm not a Dak truther per se, but I do like Dak this week. He would be my choice. Let's see here. What else we got? Jonathan Nixon, appreciate you. Love the videos as always. Questions below, please. As always, question below, please. All right, so we'll look for Jonathan Nixon's questions below. Mike Osterling, see you. Appreciate you. Is Kirk Cousins good enough for Nicholas Fuller? Yes, I think so. And plus, you probably got him at the very end of your draft, so it's not a bad choice.
How do you have weapons like Stephon Diggs, Adam Thielen, Dalvin Cook, Kyle Rudolph, Irv Smith Jr., and say, we love Diggs, we love Thielen, both of them have wide receiver 1 upside. We love Dalvin Cook, he's a top-end running back, and not like their quarterback.
Yeah.
Like, he would have to be insanely bad, and people don't realize he finished his QB 13 last year, but the difference between a low-end QB 1 and a low-end QB 2 was literally less than a point per game. So it's not that big of a difference.
No. I don't mind him at all. Let's see here. Galladay, Duke, or Dede in a flex league? PPR help. That's tough.
Galladay, Duke, or who?
Dede Westbrook.
Galladay. Wait, you say Duke Johnson?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, Duke Johnson. Sorry.
I still think Galladay is safer, in my opinion, the safer play. Duke Johnson could have the higher upside. Mm-hmm. Brock 0515 says, hell with y'all. Well, right back to you. I think I saw you complain earlier that we didn't answer your question. Like we could answer every one of them. Get a clue.
Here's the thing. Sorry, there's so many questions rolling through here. So if you're upset that we're not answering your question, really sorry. We're trying hard as we can. But we have guys answering questions on all the YouTube videos, commenting. So if we don't answer it here, comment on the videos, something. We'll try to answer you as fast as we can.
Yeah. Let's see. I just had to use the timeout button. Let's see here. We got Duke or Ridley. Duke or Ridley? I like Ridley a little bit better. So I don't think he's a solid play this year. Nagy's the fantasy devil. Ed Smith. Today he is. Let's see here. Deshaun or Kirk? I'm going Deshaun Watson over Kirk Cousins.
Oh yeah,
100%.
Deshaun Watson's. I don't think I would ever sit Deshaun Watson for any reason.
Yeah, no, I don't think so either. Breida or Kirk in a full PPR? I'm gonna have to go Christian Kirk there.
Ooh, I'd probably go Breida this week.
We don't agree on nothing, Kyle.
I'm wondering if Kirk is going to get Darius Slay. If Kirk gets Darius Slay on him, then that could be a tough matchup.
As of right now, it sounds like Darius Slay is going to be on Fitzgerald, but that could always change come game time. So it all depends. If Slay is on Fitzgerald, then Kirk becomes a better option. Tyrell Williams or Dante Pettis for Gail Garibaldi?
Tyrell Williams.
Yep, I'm going to go Tyrell Williams as long as, Antonio Brown does sit. Gaspar, see you, appreciate the donation. Do I start Lamar Jackson over Aaron Rodgers? Well, hopefully it depends because Aaron Rodgers will already be locked. Oh, for most of this year, or does it really just depend on the team they're playing? I got to finish reading the question again. You went with Jackson this week.
I think Jackson could offer the upside every single week because of his rushing ability, but that's really going to be a back and forth type thing. But honestly, depending on the type of league you're in, if it's a 1 QB league, I maybe try to trade Aaron Jones. Maybe get another piece for your lineup for skill positions.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, a couple more questions, and we're going to go finish watching the game, and then we'll be back Saturday evening, just so you guys know. We'll be doing another live show Saturday evening. Couple more questions.
That's the real live show. That's the real one. That's where we break down the bread and butter, talk about the weather, the matchups, the injuries, all that kind of stuff. That's coming Saturday evening. What about Mecole Hardman this week? Not interested. Would need to see multiple weeks.
Yeah, plus you already have Sammy Watkins, Demarcus Robinson. I'm not going to trust Mecole Hardman, especially in week 1. Do you drop Ronald Jones for Darren Waller? Yes, you do, because you want nothing to do with Rojo. Mike Osterling, see you again. Appreciate you. Do you trade AB and Bell for Mike Thomas and Josh Jacobs?
Yes.
I do, because
hit the accept button as soon as you possibly can.
Yep, I'm not a truther of Josh Jacobs by any means, but I'd love to have Michael Thomas over Antonio Brown right now.
Yeah, because you're going to get points from Thomas and Jacobs all year. You're probably not going to get points from AB right now.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Anthony Kufta. See you. Appreciate you out there. Boyd or Kirk flex PPR? I think I'm going to have to go with Kirk. I just don't like Tyler Boyd that much this week. I'm more worried not so much about Tyler Boyd and his potential. It's that Andy Dalton's not going to be able to stay upright long enough to get the ball down the field. That's what I see as a problem.
Yes.
Yep. Big Ben or Jared Goff?
Oh, son of a... Somebody in the chat just wrote that Aaron Jones is done for the night with broken ribs.
Well,
that's why he hasn't been playing.
If that's the case, that would make a whole lot of sense. Fishing with Phil. I see you out there, Phil. Which I think that's Joe Camel now. It is Joe Camel because I can see his name in here. Let's see here. Need to bench 2. Benching 2 of Julio, Edelman, Hilton, Watkins. I don't know if that's Duke or David Johnson, Joe. Damian Williams, Lindsey, 12-team PPR. This is your boy Joe Camel. Love you guys. Appreciate you, Joe. So if I had to bench 2, I'm going with benching Ty and I'm benching Sammy and Philip Lindsay personally this week out of those options that you have up there on the screen. Those would be my 2 choices.
So I just watched a tweet that has a video posted of Aaron Jones leaving the field, and he looks in pain.
If that's the case, then this is why Aaron Jones is not performing for you guys. Look at the DFS live. That's Ryan. Everybody who has seen Ryan on the channel before. Ryan, what are you doing, Ryan? Kyle, we're already in the money, and here comes the Bears offense. Let's get it. If you have not, followed us on Twitter or anything here recently, you need to check out Ryan. He is you can see the name. It's the DFS life. He's all about that DFS life, and he's absolutely killing it. And we offer a DFS season pass on Patreon. We can't really put it on YouTube because YouTube censors all kinds of sports betting and gambling and stuff, so we can't really do it on YouTube, so we put it on Patreon. You get put in private direct messages with him, weekly cheat sheets, weekly plays of the week, weekly videos of who you should be targeting, matchups to target, tournaments to target. He does all of that, does a great job over on Patreon. Go check it out. The link will be below in the description on our Patreon page.
I played a bunch of low end double ups first matchup of the season. Didn't want to go too crazy. Bunch of low end double ups. This is what we're looking at right now. If you're in the chat,
can't see it. Nice.
You can't?
No.
Yeah, no. Okay. Anyway, up $60 right now.
Well, there you go. See, that's what we do over here. We're making money. So if you play DFS and you want to actually make some money, go check out our Patreon page. Ryan, hook you up. Let's see here. Do a live game watch. Ugly Dude wants to watch us watch a game. That could happen in the future.
Maybe someday when Headliner Nation is a physical building.
Yeah. Maybe. We're working towards it. We need a few more subscribers for that, but we're definitely growing quickly. Let's see here. Dede Westbrook or Brandon Cooks? I'm going Brandon Cooks. Geis or Kenyon Drake? This week, I think I'm going to go Kenyon Drake because I expect the Dolphins to be losing the entire game and throwing the ball. That will benefit Kenyon Drake. Lamar or Goff this week? I like both. Personally, I think Lamar's ceiling is a little bit higher, but Goff is safer. Drop Hawkinson for Waller? Yes, I would do that. Freeman or Godwin for flex? That's tough. I think Godwin may be a little bit safer, but I love to have running backs in my flex spot if I can because I want those guaranteed touches every week.
I think Godwin is actually the upside this week. Freeman's the safer play. Because you're basically guaranteed the volume with Freeman, right? Like Freeman's healthy and in the game, he's going to be getting the touches. Yeah. Godwin's the guy that, OJ Howard and, Mike Evans you're going to have to fight with. So even though I love him this week, I think Freeman is the safer play.
Yep. All right. Well, hey, we were only going to hop on here for 30 minutes. It's been 55 minutes. we're going to get out of here for the evening, but we're coming back Saturday evening. We're going to come back here. We got all other kinds of information to share for you guys just to make sure you guys are ready to go first thing Sunday morning. Was this game fun and exciting? No, it hasn't been yet, but we've seen boring Thursday night football games in the past. Don't fret. There's going to be a lot of excitement here over the next few days. Get ready for it. Week 1 is here. We got to get everybody a win in week 1.
Yep. Yeah. If we didn't get to your question tonight, come back on Saturday. One of us may be here on Sunday. Haven't been decided yet. Okay. Make sure that you watch the videos, comment on the videos. We've got guys from the Fantasy Headliners that are writers going in and out, answering a bunch of questions. Jake and I are answering a bunch of questions. So if we didn't get to your question tonight, stay patient with us. We'll try to get as many as we can before kickoff on Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely. There's so many questions, but I do want to take just one quick second to thank you guys for all the support. The channel has been growing like crazy the past week and a half. I mean, we've had like 6,000-7,000 subscribers this week, which is absolutely amazing. The best week we've ever had. We owe that to you guys. We thank you very much. And just so you know, we're announcing the winners. It's going to be on Saturday. I'm announcing the winners. We're giving away 5 draft guides. If you already bought them, you're going to be reimbursed for your draft guide. Plus, we have a random winner drawing for the Marlon Mack jersey. I'm going to be doing all those announcements Saturday, so make sure. Check your email. You may have one from me. You never know. We like to give away things as often as we can here. But we greatly appreciate the support. Kyle and I are going to go finish watching this awesome football game because it's just so exciting. And then we will talk to you guys once again on Saturday. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your evening. We'll talk to you later.
Peace.